Hello and welcome to the Papyrus TV Africa News Update. I am Christiana Babayo. Before we begin the news, here are the headlines. Another PDP senator defects to APC, boosts ruling party's strength in National Assembly. Ex-CDS General Christopher Musa nominated for Mayor of Peace Award. FCTA moves to halt illegal development linked to ex-naval chief over land controversy. And now the news in full. Senator Agom Jarigbe of Cross River North has officially defected from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the All Progressives Congress (APC, further consolidating the ruling party's control of the Senate. His defection was formally announced during November 11th, Tuesday's plenary session, marking another major political realignment in the lead-up to the 2027 general elections. The defection reflects growing discontent within the opposition party and deepens internal rifts that have weakened its influence in both chambers of the National Assembly. Jarigbe's switch is expected to tilt the balance of legislative support towards the APC, enabling smoother passage of executive bills and a tighter grip on committee leaderships. Political observers interpret his move as part of a wider wave of defection spurred by strategic calculations, personal ambitions, and shifting regional loyalties. Within Cross River politics, the development is viewed as strengthening the APC's presence in a region that has been a key PDP base since 1999. Party insiders suggest more defections may follow in the coming months as lawmakers position themselves for relevance under the Tinubu administration. The International Association of World Peace Advocates has nominated Nigeria's immediate past Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa, retired, for its prestigious Mayor of Peace Award in recognition of his service to national stability, peacekeeping operations, and post-retirement humanitarian initiatives. The global body noted Musa's long-standing contributions to peace enforcement missions in the Sahel, his leadership in strengthening civil-military relations, and his commitment to conflict resolution mechanisms during his tenure. The award ceremony, scheduled to hold later this year in Abuja, will feature global representatives of diplomatic missions, civil society, and peace-building institutions. The recognition comes at a critical time when Nigeria's security architecture continues to undergo reforms aimed at achieving sustainable peace. Musa's nomination underscores international recognition of Nigeria's military leadership and its evolving approach toward peace operations and humanitarian support in conflict-prone regions of Africa. The Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA) has ordered an immediate suspension of all ongoing development work on a disputed parcel of land allegedly acquired by a former Chief of Naval Staff. The directive follows an internal investigation into suspected irregularities in land allocation and building approval procedures within the capital's high-value districts. The minister, during a review of the case, directed the Department of Development Control to stop construction activities pending full verification of title documents. Preliminary reports suggest that the property was part of land reserved for government infrastructure, but was reportedly reallocated under questionable circumstances. The order has drawn attention to Abuja's recurring issues of land racketeering, illegal allocations, and abuse of administrative processes by influential individuals. Urban development analysts say the clampdown could signal a renewed effort by the FCTA to restore public confidence in the city's land management system, which has long suffered from encroachment and bureaucratic corruption. Former Minister of Education and Governance Reform advocate Dr. Obi Ezekwesili has renewed calls for institutional reforms granting the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) greater financial independence and prosecutorial powers to ensure the credibility of Nigeria's electoral process. Ezekwesili, speaking at a democracy forum in Abuja, highlighted how financial dependence on the executive arm has hindered INEC's ability to act autonomously, particularly in enforcing electoral laws and sanctioning violators. She also emphasized the need to strengthen the electoral body's technical and investigative departments to prevent future manipulation of results and voter suppression tactics. Her advocacy comes amid rising national discourse over the integrity of Nigeria's elections following controversies that trailed the 2023 polls. Governance experts believe that granting INEC prosecutorial authority would not only boost public confidence but also reduce the backlog of unpunished electoral offences that weaken democratic accountability. We will now go on a short break, and when we come back, the news will continue. Stay tuned.
The Papyrus Global, we don't just cover events, we create cinematic experiences. From red carpets to birthdays, gala dinners, and your fairy tale weddings, we bring your moments to life with high-tech precision. Our gadgets are smarter, our lenses sharper, and our team simply world-class. Trust the Papyrus Global to tell your story in the boldest, brightest way possible.
Welcome back, and now the news will continue. Senator Orji Uzor Kalu has expressed support for U.S. President Donald Trump's recent remarks about the persecution of Christians in Nigeria, describing the statement as a wake-up call for deeper reflection on the nation's security failures. Kalu noted that ongoing violence in the country's northern and central regions has led to widespread loss of life and property, disproportionately affecting faith-based communities. He said the U.S. position underscores the urgency for the Nigerian government to reassess its strategy in dealing with terrorism, banditry, and religious extremism. The statement has stirred renewed debate in diplomatic and policy circles, particularly over the implications of Trump's threat to impose sanctions or cut aid to countries accused of enabling religious persecution. Analysts warn that Nigeria's government may need to adopt a more transparent and community-based security approach to further avoid international scrutiny. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has filed a fresh motion in court seeking to arrest the judgment delivered against him in the ongoing terrorism case. The motion challenges the legality of previous ruling, arguing that the proceedings violated his constitutional rights to fair hearing and due process. The new application filed through his legal team also seeks to nullify evidence presented by the prosecution on grounds of procedural irregularities and alleged bias. Legal experts say the development could further delay final resolution of the long-running case, which has sparked national and international attention. The motion has once again brought the issue of judicial independence and human rights compliance in Nigeria's counter-terrorism framework into focus. Observers believe that the outcome will set a precedent for the handling of politically sensitive trials and define the boundaries of state authority in national security prosecutions. Nigeria's Chief of Army Staff has reaffirmed the commitment of the armed forces to enhance operational efficiency following a high-level meeting with President Tinubu focused on strengthening the country's security architecture. The closed-door session reviewed the performance of current military operations across the northeast, northwest, and coastal regions with emphasis on improved intelligence sharing and interagency coordination. The Army Chief pledged to restructure troops' deployment strategies to respond more swiftly to emerging threats and to reinforce counter-insurgency efforts through technology-driven surveillance. Security experts interpret the meeting as part of a broader reform agenda aimed at repositioning the Nigerian military as a more agile and intelligence-based force. The move comes amid renewed public calls for decisive action against growing insecurity, especially in rural communities vulnerable to terrorist and bandit attacks. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has donated 250 million naira to the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies (NIPSS) to strengthen the institute's Gender and Leadership Center. The endowment aims to promote research, training, and policy initiatives that will enhance women's participation in governance and leadership. The donation made under her Renewed Hope initiative will fund capacity-building programs and leadership development fellowships targeting female public servants and community leaders. It also marks a significant step towards bridging gender inequality in Nigeria's decision-making processes. Analysts view the contribution as consistent with the administration's policy thrust on inclusive governance and human capital development. By supporting NIPSS, the First Lady has positioned the center as a strategic hub for grooming female leaders who can contribute to national policy reform, economic growth, and peace-building efforts. And that's all we have on the Papyrus TV Africa News Update. Stay tuned to our subsequent programs. I am Christiana Babayu. Thanks for joining us.
Are you a busy professional in need of trustworthy domestic staff or a corporate entity looking to staff your company? Damsa Mega Recruitment and Consult, a premium staffing agency located in Apo area of Abuja, got you covered. We connect you with skilled, reliable workers who respect your home or office and understand your needs, whether it's a housekeeper, professional chef, cook, a nanny, gardener, security guard, gatesman, a driver, or any position in your office. We ensure you get the best services, so you can unwind after a long day or get your job done with no headache. Our staff are trained to respect boundaries, follow instructions, and communicate clearly, bringing peace of mind right to your doorsteps. At Damsa Mega Recruitment, we prioritize professionalism, integrity, and your satisfaction. For a service you can trust, think Damsa Mega Recruitment. Your comfort, our commitment. We are your trusted partner in quality service. Click on the link below to hire or get more information.